Hey Westside, on today's edition of What We Read, I'm going to be summarizing pages 28 to 50 with you. And 28 starts off with the chapter concerning Lev. In this section, Lev has his unwinding party where his oldest brother makes a big fuss about Lev being tithed to the church and makes it known that he's not real happy about it. It really confuses Lev. He goes to Pastor Dan for advice. Pastor Dan's a super important character for Lev. The next morning on the ride to his unwinding center, this is where he's in the Cadillac and there's an accident, and this is where his life and Rissa's life and Connor's life all merge. And so we get a different perspective of the kidnapping of Lev. When he shouts out to Pastor Dan for help, Pastor Dan sees that he's being kidnapped by another teenage boy, and Pastor Dan tells him to run. He gets really confused because he likes the safety net of Pastor Dan and his family and what he has known. So he thinks about this constantly, that Pastor Dan kept telling him to run. Connor takes Lev. Lev turns and fights back and bites Connor really hard. In all the confusion, the juvie cops come after them, and Lev ends up taking a tranquilizer bullet meant for Connor. Connor, in a quick instant, decides he's not going to let Lev stay there and get captured by the juvie cops because he's tranquilized. So he takes Lev this time instead of to kidnap him to protect himself. He really feels that he is taking Lev to protect Lev. He leaves behind his backpack with his money, and so he sacrifices that, which could really aid in his running away to freedom. And what's interesting about these chapters is that from other people's perspectives, we see Connor as cold and calculating. And so the chapters where Connor is the focus, we see his internal struggle and that he's really actually trying to act out of kindness and making good choices. So in chapter 5, we see the juvie cop's perspective. His name is JT Nelson. Rissa pretends that her arm is broken as he's chasing all of them through the woods. And so he stops to help her. And that's when you find out that Rissa is working with Connor, and Connor gets the drop on the cop and shoots him in the leg with the tranquilizer gun. Chapter 6, we go back to Lev's perspective. He wakes up tied to a tree, and you can see the easy way that Rissa and Connor get along. They're both survivors and had tough upbringings. Rissa because she grew up in an orphanage, and Connor, well, because he was sort of the outsider of his family. Lev is trying to figure out what's up and who can he trust, and he's still trying to think about getting back to his family. Pastor Dan's words are still confusing him, and so in this chapter, he's thinking about the fact that he was told to run. He tells Connor and Rissa that his parents will look for him, and then he gets really confused when Rissa and Connor tell them that they didn't take him to kidnap him, they took him to save his life. And so he thinks that he's going to be getting a ransom. And so, he learns that there is no ransom for him, and that's very confusing. Connor and Rissa are very relieved to be on the run and relatively safe for now, but Lev is ticked. And he's trying to hide to show it while he's trying to figure out, can he trust them? What's interesting is that Rissa and Connor sort of have this interesting way of working together, and they sort of understand each other. And Rissa has this plan to see if Lev will run off. And so she picks a fight with Connor. And so they fight, and it's sort of a fight to really see if they can trust each other. And it's sort of a fight to see if Lev is going to run away if they untie him. He doesn't run away. And in fact, he points out, if I'm untied, I'm a fugitive with you, but tied up, I'm still a hostage. In chapter 8, this is Rissa's point of view, and we see some level of respect between her and Connor, and they discuss the fact that they had a, quote, play fight. And that takes us up to page 50, where you will begin reading today with page 51. If you don't make it all the way through, maybe take the book home and keep going. Ask your teacher how far you're expected to get today. And I will see you next time on What We Read.